Hello, welcome to Temple Baptist Church, our devotional time. For today, we're going to be in Galatians chapter 6. I'm going to encourage you to read verses 1 through 10, and I want to just break out verse 2 here and talk a little bit about our load we bear as a Christian to each other. Bear one another burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. I don't know. Some people have jobs that require more than one person to perform that job. They have to work together as a team. And I think a good example is what I've read and heard, and maybe, a firefighter will straighten me out on this, but that hose that they use to fight that fire with, they carry that into a burning structure. They do it in pairs, and because the reason is, it's a charged hose. It's filled with water. It's extremely heavy, and it's under pressure. And so, for their safety, they always pair up to bear the load. And I think that would be a good thing for us to remember today, to pair up and burden the load of God's people. I think Paul wrote of the load we are to bear as Christians each other. The burden of sin can weigh on us and our fellow believers. We're in the world. We're not of the world, but we're in the world. We don't have to act like the world, but if we're not careful, it will tempt us, it'll overcome. And so Paul is saying here in these verses that we have in Galatians, he said that we are to help restore one another in spite of gentleness. It can be difficult, can't it? It can be difficult to help others when they have failed. Well, I wouldn't do that. Have you ever said that? Well, be careful, because we will. But we're called to do so with humanity. Be civil about it. We must be careful that we too are not tempted. We say, I would never do that. Better be careful. Better be careful. It's there, and so we want to think about it. Let's be careful that we're not tempted. Paul calls the act of bearing one another's burdens the law of Christ. Okay, when Christ died on the cross, He took on our burdens, didn't He? Our burdens, our sin held Him to a cross. When we assist others with their burdens, we're just following Christ's example. Is that what we're supposed to do? Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and thy neighbor as thyself. So we're just following Christ's example for helping in a time of need. I think every one of us have times in our life when we need somebody to help us carry the burden. We need that. And and Paul also warns in this that the dangers of thinking we can bear our burdens alone. When we do, we're just deceiving ourselves. We're just deceiving ourselves. We need others to help us, and others need us to help them. That's what Christian life is all about. Helping one another. Loving one another as Christ loved us. Love your enemies. Whoever needs help, help them. And so we need to help others, and they need to help us. And we cannot fight spiritual fires alone. They're too heavy. They're too big for us. That we just can't do it. When we try, we fail, and our failure not only puts us in danger. If the fireman went in with that one hose and just one hose by himself, and then it got away from him and didn't do any good, it was putting everybody's life in danger. And so when we fail, and on our fellow Christians. So don't bear your burdens alone, and don't let others do so either. Bear one another's burdens. That's what Paul is saying here. Bear one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. Come and be a part of our services here at Temple. We meet on Sunday mornings. Our first service at Sunday morning is at 8 a.m. Then we have our Sunday school classes at 9, and our second worship service is at 10 a.m. on Sunday morning. And then Sunday night we're at 6 o'clock, and Wednesday night at 7, and may God bless you is our prayer.